I think I've had enough to say about it.
Can we talk about Last Jedi then?
Yeah, Last Jedi. What do you like it?
Yeah, I liked it.
Oh, look, we're out of time.
No, I mean, I saw it with Mike.
Yeah.
Opening some night, and a friend of mine and her son. So I saw it with Mike, who was about to have an anxiety attack before the credits rolled.
Did you see my face? What do my face look like?
No, this was Mike during the. I don't know if I can do this. You see the leg bouncing. And as soon as the title comes up, Mike's like the whole movie. It's drooling, foaming at the mouth.
I was like Gollum.
It's like I've never seen a person react to a movie like this, and I was like,
what did you think? What did
and
you
I'm
think?
sitting next to my friend and her son's like, fall asleep. This is not a movie for kids. And then my friend liked it because she's a reasonable person. So I watched it.
Kind of true.
I knew it was going to be something different. I knew it was going to be Rian Johnson.
In the most trolly way possible.
Rian Johnson made
Ryan!
It's Rian.
Ryan.
It's Rian.
Ryan.
Ladies and gentlemen, writer-director Ryan Johnson.
Ryan, we'll go with Ryan for the sake of this podcast. Ryan Johnson has made interesting, challenging science fiction and movies for a while.
Brick,
Looper, Breaking Bad, Brick, all that stuff, right?
Directed the best episode of Breaking Bad.
He's a great filmmaker.
Yeah.
So I knew he was going to subvert expectations in some way, right?
In the most cruel way possible.
There was going to be some like independent film style, art film stuff like thrown in throughout. So that's what I went in expecting, and that's what I got. The humor was off-putting.
Yeah.
And that little annoyed look to her, Mark. Great, that got it.
But I watched it again a few weeks ago, and it didn't bother me that much.
They have a "Your Mama" joke like 5 minutes into the film in Star Wars. A "Your Mama" joke. But I mean, clearly Ryan Johnson, I think he knew the only way to get his way out of a muck is to make something where he knew he'd piss off fans. Because there's
I don't think he was trying to do that. I think he really wanted to please fans, and the studio was happy. The critics liked it.
By killing Snoke like it was nothing. By not explaining what happened.
But how do we know that wasn't the intention of the, like, I mean, who wrote the trilogy? There's things written, or did Rian Johnson like throw out this script?
Here's the thing.
I'm gonna do what I want for this. So.
He was writing it while they were filming Force Awakens.
Okay.
So he didn't know, like, what the
So,
reaction was
okay.
gonna be.
So my big question is, so Force Awakens sort of introduced these characters, and people want to, it's not, the filmmakers didn't write this movie and say, we really hope our audience really wants to know who Snoke is. Because maybe their intention was to kill off Snoke in the second movie.
Yeah.
I didn't want you to be blindsided. It climaxes with a spectacular death of Snow. I'm sorry, but it's glorious. I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you.
Okay. So it's like,
So maybe the writer's intention was to say, like, ooh, maybe Rey has this parentage that's special.
Yeah.
That's special.
Bethel.
And then we're in the second movie, we're going to be like, no, Snoke isn't special. Rey's parentage isn't special.
I didn't mind the parents part. I complained about that in my initial review, but I don't mind that. I actually like that you don't have to have some form of nepotism in order to be a Jedi,
Right. And throughout I had two sort of opinions on that, because throughout the movie they're saying, like, a lot of different people can be Jedis. You don't have to be a Skywalker to be a Jedi.
Yeah.
Or a Kenobi. But, because of the ending, because the kids are Jedis.
The toy commercial?
The broom sort of deal, right?
However,
commercial. I don't know why these fans aren't getting this, is that Kylo Ren is trying to manipulate Rey into joining the dark side, just like his father before, or just like his master, Vader, before him, tried to manipulate Skywalker.
Yeah.
And maybe Kylo Ren knows something that Rey doesn't about what her background is. Or maybe he does.
Yeah.
Maybe he knows nothing. Maybe he's just like, he knows he's got this personal connection to Rey through this like psychic connection that they develop.
Yeah.
And but of course he's not going to be like, why would he say you're not special?
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
Yeah.
He might know, but even if he does, he's not going to tell Rey the truth. He's not going to say you're a Skywalker or you're a Kenobi or you're special.
So you think he might be lying to her?
Oh, absolutely. It's a storytelling device. It's subverting your expectations. So for the third one, when they do actually reveal, I'm your father, whatever, I'm your mother, then that's going to be special. Because they're playing on our expectations by saying, like, Empire Strikes Back, Vader revealed, I'm your father. It was a big deal, right? Because Luke Skywalker had this parentage of power. And
they kind of want to subvert your expectations. In other words, where you're thinking, okay, well, they answer that she comes from nothing. But in reality, she does come from something. But we don't want you to know that because you're expecting something like
absolutely.
that. Yeah,
so, and I'm sure Abrams, who's gonna take back over the franchise in the third one, that's probably the plan. And
but he made Lost. He's not gonna answer.
I love Lost,
but that doesn't answer questions.
The second one is they're gonna answer the questions for this. Lost was literally made or the third one. They're definitely gonna answer these questions in this, and they're gonna say, oh, why did we kill off Snoke? Maybe Snoke is still alive. Maybe that he was a Force projection too.
That would be cool.
So there's lots of different things that could happen, and I think some of the initial reaction from some of like the Redditors and this big that community is just they're forgetting the fact that this is a story and these are master storytellers who are telling the story, so they know where they're going, and the way to create suspense is to subvert expectation. That's like film school 101, screenwriting 101, subvert expectations.
But it subverted it in a way where it felt insulting, and I think that this is a lot of wishful thinking. I don't think they're going to answer this stuff. Again, like Lost was a great series, but it didn't really answer anything.
No.
And I think we're going to get the same case here. Maybe Rian Johnson just wanted to kill all those questions off so then they can start a fresh new path where you don't have to worry about all that. But the thing is, even with the prequels, for as much as I didn't like them, it told me how the Empire was created. It showed me how Anakin Skywalker became Darth Vader. It answered those questions, even if they weren't very satisfying films. Now, the original trilogy, sure, they didn't explain anything, but it was just meant to be one film, although George Lucas likes to say otherwise. And here we have, when did the Return of the Jedi come out? Like 1983?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you had from 1983 to 2015 a huge gap of what happened, and it just seemed like, well, there's an empire still, and we still, for some reason, have a rebellion, and it just seemed like a cheap writing ploy. And it's like, if we're going to have this situation, we need to know why these exist, because we've seen what happens beforehand. And when you don't have those kind of answers, I'm not emotionally invested in the whole Resistance First Order thing. It's like, I don't care anymore. Like, the whole big deal with the Empire is we saw how the Empire was created. And seeing them get taken down, that felt like the end of the story. And of course, my main fear with these new films was it was going to feel like they were horseshoed in. And they are.
I mean, history repeats itself. That's history. We've all seen history books. And there's cycles of this kind of thing. And you can see that right now in our culture.
But I want to see how that cycle happened. That would be such a much more fascinating...
Oh, like in that 30 years?
Yeah.
Well, we know, because they're telling us in the movie what happened.
Well, no, they never said, well, the First Order's here because of this. They never said, like, the only answer they give is that there was the casino planet where there were people who were putting money into the First Order and putting money into the Resistance, and they're continuing the war through greed. It was very sloppy the way they covered that, because they had to throw in Rian Johnson's, like, little fun chase scene and bullshit.
Why are we doing this? We're doing the same thing on a road right now, and that's. I mean, they're comparing it. I don't know how Star Wars played into the politics of the late 70s and the 80s.
Well, it was inspired from it. Was inspired from Nixon.
And that's great, because it's good science fiction, plays with the notions of what's going on in the real world at any time.
Yeah.
Oh, your LED just went away.
I got a backup.
I look more mysterious.
No, I don't have a backup.
I've got a battery.
Well, do it live! Fuck it! Do it live!
So, yeah, history repeats itself, but you know, with Star Wars, I think it's nice to know what that history is. And now that it's not there, there's no emotional investment in anything that's going on.
Well, we know what the history is, and that's why the prequels failed, because they tried to show all that history, which was super boring.
It was boring, yeah, but I think if you condense the history a little bit in this one, it would give you something to want to see. Yeah. I get it. They wanted to make Star Wars great again. Not to MAGA that shit, but I mean, essentially that's...
I think that when Part 3 comes out, everyone's going to say, oh, I was so wrong about The Last Jedi.
God, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I just don't think they're smart enough to do... I don't think these movies really respect their audiences that much either. You know? Well, no, this one did.
Well, who knows? We don't know what they're... I mean, we're going to get Star Wars fatigue ASAP with...
We already do. I mean, we have Han Solo.
Rian Johnson's trilogy, and then DW Game of Thrones guys are doing their trilogy. So
they have a TV series coming out now, too.
Oh, are they doing TV instead of the movie?
The Resistance.
There's your history.
Yeah, I don't want it through a fucking bullshit TV series.
Well, that'll be good.
Yeah, well, I guess that's our Star Wars rant, and we lost our light. Even the fucking camera's like, fuck this. All right, thanks a lot, John. And you'll probably agree. Yippee.